Hello viewers, today we're going to be doing a repair on this AT&T telephone. This is a 4-line SynJ series telephone, and we have two issues with it. The first issue is with the line selection buttons. Zoom in here so you can see. Line number 3 is kind of sticky. See if it'll come out again. So that's not working correctly. So we're going to fix that. Are you able to see that on the video? Yeah, you can see on the video. Okay, so we're going to fix that. Hang up all these lines here. The other issue is with the speaker. It has a good bit of vibration on the higher ring volume, so I'll play a ringer here just to sample. Let's go into the tones instead. You know, I think it's only when it's on a hard surface that it does it. Yeah, you can hear it now. So we're going to see if we can fix that. That most certainly should not be. And whoops, almost fell. Okay. So that should be two fairly simple fixes. It is kind of odd that only one button is sticky and none of the other buttons around it are sticky, but sometimes strange things happen. So disconnect this, and we're going to begin taking this apart. It has quite a few screws on it. Actually, we're going to use, let's see here, probably use this bit. Unless this one would work as well. Okay, that's a good fit. We'll use that other one. Okay, hopefully this base comes apart relatively easily. Looks like it may come apart in 2 sections. Let's try splitting it from the bottom first. Nope, that's not going to work. I do hear something in there. That may have something to do with our rattling speaker. It looks like it's going to want to split from the top first. So we'll go about it that way. This is really not wanting to come apart here. I don't know where the plastic little latches are along the side of this thing. I wonder if we could just remove this front. That's probably would give us the access that we need, so maybe we'll try doing that instead. That looks like it's a little more willing to come out. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Nope. Okay, so it looks like it has one substantial clip along the side. So I was able to get that one side off. I'll try to do the other side the same way. This is definitely one of the more difficult phones I've tried to open. Okay, so that looks like that'll remove our rear back plate, and there's going to be a ribbon cable here. I'm not sure if that has to... No, it looks like it's glued, so we're not going to be undoing that anytime soon. Let's see here. We have 2 screws there, so we'll undo these. See where that gets us. Oh, they're a different size. Thinking this is not going to bring us where I want to go. Let's see, does that give us access to anything? Oh gee, this is really not a very serviceable component here. Well, there's the speaker right there. And that's what I want to get to. Alright, looks like we have one more screw that's holding this thing in place, the top casing. And I'm going to undo this screw and see if maybe I can get into the front where the buttons and such are. Okay, maybe not. This is really not very serviceable at all. Probably another hidden screw somewhere. Likely somewhere that can't be accessed. Yep, I see it. Is it? I think this was just not intended to be serviced. It's really kind of crummy. I hate when things are built like that. Maybe if I remove this glue, I can undo this ribbon cable, and that will let me get in there. Okay, somebody really did not want somebody getting inside this ribbon cable plug. But I took all the glue off, or enough of it anyways. We should be able to just pull this out now. There we go. And this can be unplugged. Or at least one would certainly think so. And they glue this too. There we go. Almost giving me enough room to get to that last screw. I see it now. Let's see here. What else needs to be removed? I'm not undoing the antennas. It's way too much hassle. If I did these speaker wires, I could probably get to it. As much as I don't really want to start soldering on this board, it may be the only option. Because I can't even get to the thing where you would tighten the speaker anyways without doing that. Well, you know what? There's enough slack. I'm going to have to just solder them off and solder them back on. I don't really want to do that, but I don't see what other options I have at this point. Okay, so it looks like these wires have to come off, and I believe that's going to be for this the hook switch. So, is this not warmed up enough yet? Clearly it's not. Well, it seems like it is. What is going on here? Why isn't this coming off? Okay, I'm going to put a little piece of tape on there just to indicate that's the one that goes on the right side. Okay, now if I also remove these speaker wires, I have to undo both. I think I may finally be able to see underneath here now. Yes, finally. What I needed to get to was that screw right there. And now with this screw removed, I think I can access, or at least I can remove this front plate here, which should give me some access. Yeah, that gives me access to everything I wanted. Alright. Okay, that's inconvenient. So this is the speaker thing here. And nothing seems to be loose, but I'll open it up and see if maybe there's something under here or whatever. That rubber gasket looks pretty good still. There's nothing in there. Maybe it vibrates side to side a little bit. We'll do the old paper trick on this and call it a day. So I'm going to take some paper and I'm just going to put this in the side of it here so that there's not that room for it to move. So now, even if it wanted to, it's definitely not going to vibrate side to side. I don't really necessarily think that was the problem, but did something to try to fix it, so that's good. I'll check, see if there's anything else loose inside of here as we move along. The next thing we're going to do is go into the buttons and clean out that line 3 selection button. Make sure these are plenty tight, and I don't think that speaker is going to vibrate anymore. Alright. Now into the buttons. Of course, this has an obnoxious amount of screws in it. Okay, so here's this. Gotta find somewhere safe to put this. That should work. And now we gotta pull this out, and this should reveal our issue. don't see anything on here. Doesn't really feel sticky. Oh yeah, it's sticky in there. Okay. That would be definitely the source of the issue. So we're going to clean that out now, and then should fix that. Okay, so I think what the issue here was is not so much a function of somebody spilled something in here and it got sticky. Rather, it seemed like it was an issue of the glue that was used to bond the front cover thing and his back plate together. Had kind of seeped out into the buttons a little bit because there was some sticky stuff in the seam. And so I took some goofs off, or was that, no, yeah, goofs off, and I cleaned in there with the goofs off, and that stuff was really powerful. Here it is. And so that kind of took off whatever extra glue residue was there. So I think that has solved that issue. At least from what I can tell, this seems to be moving freely inside of there. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on now. I'm also noticing that these buttons are starting to deteriorate, the little connections that hold them in place, but I'm not going to worry about that because it's kind of just poorly made and it's going to end up breaking eventually. So anyways, I'll put this back on now, and I'm going to set the button board in place here, and this is going to be kind of interesting with the screen not being held in by anything really. Make sure that's all in place before I put this on. Okay, I'll just hold this in place here and I'll test it. Seems to be working perfectly now. Yeah, it's okay now. So that was the problem. So that's just another example of the quality control issues that are floating around in today's products. So now that that's fixed, I will go ahead and put this back on. And the speaker, it is what it is. I'm not gonna go crazy about that because it's not really a functionality issue. It's just a thing that bothers me and probably nobody else. The main complaint here was the line number 3 not working, and that is fixed. So ultimately this has been a successful repair. Okay. Yep, that all looks good to me. That's definitely working correctly now. So, we can go ahead and close this up. And this is going to be a thrill to get back together, because I can just tell based on how much of a thrill it was to get it apart. Now, let's see here. How does this go? It goes like this. Now we have to figure out the 1.5 million screws that hold this thing together. Okay. Should have 1, 2. Let's make sure these wires are pulled through, otherwise we're going to have an issue there. Why is that? Hold up, hold up. There we go. Okay. I'm going to make sure all these are tighter than normal just because of that speaker vibration issue that was present before. Normally I tighten these screws pretty reserved because they're going into plastic threads, but I really want to make sure there's no chance of vibration. Alright, everything looks good there. And mount this back in place. Need to feed this ribbon cable through here. I can't believe they taped that on there. You know, I wish, or glued it on there rather. I wish they would have spent the extra couple dollars they did on a glue and put more memory in this thing instead. Okay, where is this supposed to come through? I think this was supposed to come through underneath here. Yes, that it was. Okay. Alright, so let's plug this in here. Okay, here we go with the soldering. I probably should get that tape off of there first, otherwise I'm never gonna get that out. Oh, is this gonna come back and bite me in the rear for putting this on here? It is. Oh, there we go. Alright. I'll zoom in so you can see my wonderful soldering skills. Now we go up, is it? Where is it? Right there. Okay. The viewfinder is inverted on the camera because I'm looking at it from the front and it's like impossible to line up the image with where it's actually looking. Well, it's not exactly good, but it may just have to do. Don't think I have any cutters that are good enough to cut that off. Give it one more try here. This is not a, the data that this carries is literally just on hook or off hook, so it's not like it really needs to be the greatest connection in the world. Okay, that's not ideal, but it'll work. Okay. That, I believe, should be all the soldering we have to do. Those connections are much better, but that's carrying more data, so that's important. Alright. At this point, I want to give this thing a test, just to make sure that it's working and everything is as it should be. I feel like we're missing some screws here. I got 2 extra screws. I wonder where those are supposed to have gone. Maybe they haven't gone in yet. I'll have to go back on the video and watch where those go. I think they may actually go right there. Yeah, they do. Do they? Let's see. Yep, that's where they go. I'll just put those in place real quick and then we'll power it on and test it. Now let's put the ribbon cable in too, that would be helpful. all in its glue-filled glory. I still can't believe they did that. Unbelievable. Alright. Let's unplug this before I get burned. Or something else gets burned. And where's the power cord? Okay, the hook switch is working. Speaker is working. Line 3 is working as nicely as all the other lines is. Or the lines are, rather. Now let's listen to some of these ringtones here. The vibration anymore. Maybe they ever so slightly, but it's a little better, I think. Now, either way, it's good enough. Let's get this thing back together. Is this going to be an issue here with the way that's sticking out so much? Oh, you couldn't even see all that. Good grief. Alright. Let's get this thing back together. Well, I think in a perfect world the other wire would have routed through the side here, but it ain't concerning enough to me. Actually, you know what? I could easily pull that over. Or so I thought. Okay. Okay. Alright, let me just do one more test before I snap this thing back together, because that was not fun getting it open. What happened to the speaker? There we go. I thought it disconnected when I moved that wire. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, let's close this up and call this one a wrap. Why is this so not the way it should be? Oh, I think this is causing a problem. Oh. It shouldn't be. It's down pretty low. Make sure sure the little headset jack lines up over here first. Looks like this may be as fun to get on as it was to get off. Oh, it wasn't so bad. Alright, now that it's all back together, let's power it up one more time. Yeah, I don't hear any vibration. I think that's good. Alright, let's close this up. All these crazy screws in. Almost got through the video without the phone ringing. Okay, and we're back. A couple more screws to put in. Actually, without these phones, I only have one line active right now, so that's probably why we got through the video without so many calls. Okay. Let's power this up one more time, give it a final test. Perfect. Alright, looks like that was a successful repair. Everything seems to be working fine. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, and out.